So coming up, we have the Glossop and High Peak Business Awards. Really exciting time. And I'm delighted to be joined today by two of our judges for this year, John and Angie. Everyone, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see you both. Now, of course, the big thing this year is the location to the brand new Glossop Market Hall, which looks spectacular.
It absolutely does. And I think to have a prestigious event like this to be one of the launch events is just really, really good to set the venue up and also the awards. So it's a win-win. We can't wait.
We've been in it a few times, and it really is such a nice place, and it just sums up Glossop in a nutshell, doesn't it? The indoor. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens. We've got lots of categories this year, plus the new one, the Young Business Person of the Year, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah. And have you got applicants in all of the categories, or?
Absolutely, yeah. This is what we've been encouraging people to do. I mean, when you look at the list, we've got Community Impact Business of the Year, Health and Wellbeing Business of the Year, Sustainable Business of the Year. There's lots of categories which, there's something for everybody, isn't there, this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's something about young entrepreneurs in particular, because I think, perhaps entrepreneurs are sometimes born, not made. And it's just that spark, when you get somebody who right from the age of school, school age, decides, they're going to bake cookies and sell them to their mates or whatever it is for them. But you can just see that, that person is going to be an entrepreneur for life, and you've got to see great things. So I like the young ones a lot because there's so much potential.
Absolutely. It was quite funny because last year when we did the Business Awards in Tameside, I spoke to, interviewed the young person who won the award. I think it was about 17, 18. And one of the questions I did ask him at the time was, how do you cope with the boring bit of business, doing all the bookkeeping and things like that? And he said, that's not boring. That's part of what I do. And it was so nice to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's a sensible lad because he's counting his money, isn't he? And that's just seeing it turn to profit. Yeah, I agree with him. It's really, really exciting.
And I think the great thing about Glossop and the High Peak, there's so many different types and styles and sizes of business as well. It's great to see everyone coming together. Last year was really successful. This year, even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for businesses to come together like that and for them to see who else is around, because people don't always know who else is around me and what does that open up, because you have shared markets, but it doesn't mean you're in competition, because very often you have compatible businesses, and that's really the skill of networking. It's sort of like a marriage bureau, isn't it? Putting those businesses together, we could work together. So brilliant opportunity.
It really, really is. So you've got the job of being part of the team of going through all the entries. I bet there's been quite a few so far. Now, when you're going through the entries, what are the key things you're looking for from local businesses across Glossop and High Peak?
I think obviously they need to link to the criteria for each of the categories, but also I think we're looking for entrepreneurship at the end of the day. A small business is very much about entrepreneurship rather than a corporate business, which is all around, sort of process system and policy and so on. I think we're also looking for someone who understands the need to make a profit. If you're not making a profit, as Angie said before, it's a hobby, it's not a business at the end of the day. You need to make a profit. And I think dependent on how long the business has been going for, have they grown? I mean, what have they been doing to move it from here to there at the end of the day? And I think it's also about meeting the customer demand. Now, customer demand or what the customer wants will not necessarily stay static over a number of years. And if customers are suddenly saying, well, actually, we don't want this anymore, we could do with that, then the business needs to, A, first of all, identify and understand that, but then B, react to it positively at the end of the day.
I think another key point, isn't it? You see so many businesses that just lie stagnant sometimes. They just exist. It's all about being different, isn't it? And going to that next level. That's really good. I mean, from your perspective, how important are these awards? I mean, we've done them in Tameside, we mentioned before, but Glossop and the High Peak. How important is it to the business community in your view?
I think it's really important because it's all about a profile. When you're sort of, celebrating your area and selling it wider, you want to say, well, we're a beautiful location. We've got proximity to Manchester, but look who's here, because you really are a sum of your communities, and your businesses are really important part of that. And I think it's raising the profile and sort of reminding ourselves of that, because you get into the day to day, don't you, running the business. But when you actually come together to really think and celebrate who's here and what have they achieved, and it just raises the pride and sense of place. You just think, oh, I didn't know I had all of those on my doorstep. I knew, a number, but to know all of them on our doorstep and how, rich we are. And so for those businesses to just realize that they are great businesses, that they really have something to offer, and just the exposure to the other businesses doing exciting things is just like a rising tide raising all ships. So I think it's super important.
Having done a lot of work around Glossop over the past couple of years, one thing I'm impressed with in businesses around there is all the unique individual businesses, from very small florists, for example, to all the big, the medium to big sized companies. They're all unique. They all offer something individual, don't they?
Yeah, it's the story. It's and we mentioned profit, obviously, because that's important, or you wouldn't be a business. But it's the passion as well, and it's that story. Well, what gave you that passion? What was the spark where you knew that you just had to do this? No matter what it took, you're going to do this business here.
And I think this links on to the next thing, really. What do you think sets businesses in Glossop and High Peak apart from other areas? I think, like I said before, for me, it's the individuality and the customer service, something we've lacked a little bit of in certain areas.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think, building on something Angie said earlier, it's about a sense of place. Because I think, in a sense, in an area like Glossop and High Peak, you've actually got two communities. You've got the local community that live in Glossop and High Peak, but you are also an area that's visited a lot, tourists, climbers, all of those sort of things. And I think businesses need to, perhaps not all businesses, because some won't necessarily want to go for the visiting community, if you like. But I think those that recognise that, yeah, okay, we could do this, and actually it would benefit the local community, but it would also add to tourism, people wanting to come. It is all about a sense of place, I think, at the end of the day.
100%, absolutely agree with you. I mean, for businesses watching this now or listening who might have entered this year, what advice would you give them to make their application stand out? Because I think this is the thing now, it's so easy to go on to AI, for example, and put in, tell me about my business. And it spews out everything. But the thing is, though, it's all the same language. It's all the same keywords. So what advice would you give business owners across the whole region to stand out?
I think it is that just be you, and is that spark and your story that we're interested in is, what is it important to know about your business? What is your unique selling point? What do you offer to customers that they're just not going to get anywhere else? Why are you special? And I think when you think of that, businesses are very good at telling their story when you actually hit that point of passion. So I think it's, don't tell me a dull business story. I'm human. I want to read something that sets me alight. I know one of the cafes in previous awards, I wanted to move in, not just visit. It was just a fantastic culture. It just told us, who they were and why they were doing it and what they added. And you just knew when you walked through that door what you were going to get. So I think that's, sell me your business, but from the soul. Don't use any buzzwords, because, they don't mean anything.
This is the great thing.
And business speak at the end of the day. What we want to do is understand, as Andy's saying, the culture of the organisation in many respects, and how that interacts with the local community and the benefits it gives to the local community.
Absolutely. Fully agree with you there. And finally, having seen the quality of last year's entries, how optimistic are you about the future of businesses in Glossop and the High Peak?
Absolutely. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see the entries. I know we haven't got to the on my desk yet, but as soon as we get the entries, we're really looking forward to. And I think the quality, the excitement, and we did get that from the entries last year. You know, you could feel that you'd walked into that business and you knew what you were going to get and you knew what drove them. So I think I can't wait to see this year's and to really get a feel for, you know, all the ones to watch. I think that's like the last year, you know, the excitement of actually seeing the ones and you think, oh, this business is going places, you know, and this is the one, you know, that I really want to keep tabs on and watch grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think, you know, there's a real buzz around Glossop for the High Peak at the moment about these awards, and it's all about showcasing your business. And I think, you know, anybody to just get involved with it, because I think it's a fantastic, we've got some great sponsors as well this year, haven't we, as well?
Absolutely. It really is a great celebration of businesses coming together. And I think that sponsorship actually shows, you know, that entrepreneurs, you know, they aren't competing with each other. They're celebrating and contributing to the economy and being engines of growth. And that's something that they work together through networking to do. And I think the possibilities are absolutely endless.
Well, good luck with going through all the entries. I'm sure there's been a lot to go through.
Labour of love. We're absolutely love it. Yeah. So really looking forward to it.
And we look forward to seeing you on the night at the brand new venue, Glossop Market Hall, on Monday, the 9th of February.
Absolutely.
Very much looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.